Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ground and Pound Podcast Best Bets video for UFC Fight Night. Brown taking on Bonfim in the main event. And as always, we got to talk money lines, props, and parlays here on the channel. And if you're enjoying the content, hit that like and subscribe button as we cashed last week with our slam of the week. Looking to make it 2 in a row here on the channel. And if you don't know, this is the big bet. This is the one that we put the most money on every week, the confident play. And kicking things off in this bet, we have the fight goes the distance here in Gomes and Pennington. Both women very, very durable. Pennington known throughout her career of not being finished. I don't think that Gomes is going to be able to get the finish here. She is going to be the one stalking on the feet. She's going to be the one that has most of the power. But I trust in Pennington's durability here. She might even mix in some takedowns of her own. And I do think that this fight gets to the judges' scorecards here. Small cage, a lot of clinching. Definitely will wind down the clock here, especially as the fight goes late. But I trust in both women's durability here for the first leg of our slam of the week. Fight to go the distance. A usual in most of the women's fights, let's be honest. And for the second leg of our confidence slam of the week, we have Joseph Morales here inside the distance taking on Matt Schnell. And we know with Matt Schnell, his chin has failed him many times, and I'm looking for that to be the case here. Joseph Morales, obviously an impressive performance in his last fight, being able to get the third round victory. His submission and his wrestling looks on point, and I do think that on the feet here, he can definitely find the chin of Schnell. And I do think that this guy is going to continue that momentum of that previous win that he had from the Ultimate Fighter finale, and I think that he finds the chin or finds the submission here late in this one against Matt Schnell for rounding out the confident parlay of the week, the slam of the week at around plus 110. And next up, we have the chalk parlay, two of the bigger favorites on the card, parlay together to give you plus money. And first off, kicking things off, the first leg, we have Daniel Marcos. I like Daniel Marcos here. He's the much more technical striker coming off of a loss against Montel Jackson, but he's not going to have to worry about it in this one. Miles Johns is pretty much just a guy that throws one shot at a time and likes to mix in a couple of takedowns. I don't think that he's going to have too much trouble on the feet here. He's proven to be technical and can fight on the outside. He's proven that he can get into a dogfight and open up with the hands, blast kicks, and also, like he did in his previous fight, he's interested in the wrestling now, adding other skills to his toolbox. And I like him here as one of the first legs of our chalk parlay. And for the second leg, we've got Marco Tulio. He's impressed me so far in the UFC, a very hard-hitting Brazilian, very, very tough, and he's taking on Christian Leroy Duncan. And I think that once Tulio discovers that there's not a whole lot coming back for him on the feet here, he can definitely sit down on his punches, put a lot of power into him, which he likes to do, trade in the pocket, and ultimately land in extended combinations on Duncan here. He's either going to win a very unanimous decision here, in my opinion, or he's going to find the knockout in the second round. I think that his hands are far too dangerous here. If he wants to mix in the clinch, get him up against the fence, bully him, use his size and strength, I think he can do that as well. And I think with Christian Leroy Duncan, he's one of these guys who wants to be able to have movement, have space. And if Tulio takes that away, I think that he's going to struggle with a hard-hitting Brazilian like Marco Tulio. That rounds us out here for the chalk parlay at around plus 140. And for our first money line play here, I've got Ronnie Barcelos, man. I think that he should be the favorite in this matchup. If you look at his overall skill set, the guy can wrestle, the guy can strike. He's still not showing any signs of slowing down, only lost to high-level competition. And when you look at Ricky Simone, he's not necessarily that trustworthy. He was able to get that kind of fluke knockout of Jared Basharat coming in against Cameron Smotherman. He was able to win that fight, but it was by decision, and Smotherman took that fight on short notice. And to me, when you look at it before that, the last 3 fights before that, he was obviously on a losing streak, and I think Ronnie Barcelos here has all the skills to be able to get this one done as an underdog. I think he's the better wrestler. I think that his jab is much more efficient. Ricky Simone loves to be able to wing punches. I think that the straight shots here of Barcelos are going to be enough on the feet, along with mixing in the grappling. I think this is a 50-50 fight, and I think Ronnie Barcelos can pull this one out as a slight underdog. And next up, we have the dog of the week, my favorite betting underdog on the entire card. If you've already seen the video, it is live on the channel this week. Chris Taco Padilla sitting at around plus 160. Full breakdown this week. No highlight reel tape. Full keys to victory of why I like Chris Taco Padilla here as my favorite betting underdog. Looking to make it 2 in a row. Cash last week with Jeremiah Wells. Looking to make it 2 in a row here with Chris Taco Padilla mixing in the grappling. And we have to talk props this week. There's a couple that I like on the board. Muslim Salikov, round 1 KO here. Why not continue the trend? He's been knocking people out early in the first round. Spinning wheel kick, counter right hand. Why not look here for the first round knockout, sitting at around plus 500. Uros Medic is a good striker, don't get me wrong, but we've seen his chin get rocked in the past as well. We've seen that Muslim Salikov is on an absolute streak right now. It's still at 41, knocking people out. Why not continue that trend until it fails us? I like it sitting at around plus 500 here for the first round knockout for the Kung Fu, the king of Kung Fu. And for the second prop, this one makes no sense to me. Gimenez is a world champion, high-level, credentialed black belt. The guy comes over from the world of jiu-jitsu, Pan Am Games, all this, accolades in terms of the submission game, and yet his submission prop is sitting at around plus 110, 1,100, So you're literally 11 times your money for what this guy is literally specialized in doing. The guy loves to be able to get fights to the ground. He loves to be able to look for the submission. And we've seen with Josh Hockett that obviously 6-0, mostly knockouts. However, both guys only 6 fights inside of MMA. I think if this fight hits the mat, this is obviously going to be live. We know where his bread is buttered. We know where he likes to be able to get fights to the ground and find the submission. And when you got 11 times your money, it's worth a little sprinkle here, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong. I do think that Josh Hockett has, decent hands. He can definitely find the knockout on the feet against a guy that's not been able to beat anybody with a winning record inside of MMA. But who knows? Sloppy heavyweight fight with those kind of odds. Sign me up. I like this prop here, even if it's just worth a little sprinkle. And I have to let you guys know what's on the channel. We have the dog of the week, my favorite betting underdog, Chris Taco Padilla. Full breakdown of why I like him to cash for us as the second dog of the week in a row. Check that video out. And along with the full card breakdown, we have Bonfim taking on Brown this week. Full breakdown of every single fight on the card. And as always, if you're enjoying the content, hit that like and subscribe button. And we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.